According to the Daily Signal, Fox News employees are allowed to use bathrooms that align with their gender identity inside the building rather than their biological sex. And they must be addressed by their preferred name and pronouns in the workplace. All these policies reportedly outlined in the company's employee handbook, according to the Daily Signal. The handbook promises that Fox is dedicated to expanding and strengthening efforts to sustain a more inclusive work environment. It also states that employees who are transitioning their gender have the right to be open about their transition and work in an environment free of harassment, discrimination, and without fear of transphobia. It doesn't even stop there. The handbook allegedly defines many LGBTQ terms like cisgender, gender fluid, and non-binary.
Dear God, Fox has gone woke. Stop the presses, particularly Fox's presses. Assuming they have presses, I don't think they have presses anymore, but if they did, you should stop them because they've gone woke because Fox is complying with New York state and city law, and that's unacceptable. That's the actual takeaway, worded slightly differently from Rob Schmidt of Newsmax. He's responding to a Daily Signal article that appears to show that Fox News has taken the unprecedented and unacceptable steps of protecting its employees from harassment. No, really, that was one of the things that he cited, that they should have a workplace free from harassment, and that cannot be borne. We need to be free to harass these people clean out of the news industry. But anyway, we're gonna get back to more of that. But the interesting thing, before we dive into the substance of it, is that this is Newsmax attacking Fox. And why wouldn't they? They see an opening right now with Tucker Carlson being fired. Newsmax wants to jump in that new audience. But interestingly, it was pointed out by Matthew Gertz on Twitter, Newsmax has an expansion of their studio going on right now in New York City. So they already are there. They're expanding to this massive 24,000 square foot office space. And the thing about that is New York City, as I just said, has these guidelines. That's what the law is. You do actually have to do all of what he just cited from that Daily Signal article, which means so will Newsmax actually. So as they're attacking Fox, they're gonna be doing the same thing. Now, none of this matters. It's literally the legally mandated bare minimum for how you should treat your employees, but they are just as culpable. If Fox has gone woke, the Newsmax is rushing to go woke too. We're gonna get into what was revealed, Sabrina, but what do you think about this? Are you worried about Fox going forward? Are they gonna start supporting DSA members, or what's going on over there?
As cool as it would be if Fox became Team DSA or actually went woke, it's not actually about them going woke, as we know. I think it's more about them not wanting to go broke. I think they've been making a lot of expensive mistakes lately, and it's just a liability issue for them. They don't want any more. They don't want any harassment cases. They don't want any more lawsuits, and this would be, an easy way to minimize it. They're really crossing their fingers and hoping workers there aren't actually reading their handbooks, which probably not. They're reading Truth Social, but if Newsmax is constructing more office spaces, if they really have such an issue with people using the bathroom that aligns with their preferred gender, why don't they just make more single-use stalls while they're doing their construction if it's that much of an issue for them? But it's not. It really isn't. They're just, projecting onto their audience what they think their audience wants to hear. But really, yeah, they're dumb.
I invite folks to put some words to action here. And if we need to find somebody that needs to have their shoe shine, we need to just go right on over and shine their shoes. And whether they got tennis shoes on or not, maybe they got sandals on.
I wonder why he bypassed the white person next to him and had to do the shining of the black person's shoes. Listen, he's religious. Okay, what's wrong with all people? But go ahead, Chris.
It's pretty ridiculous to just assume that Chick-fil-A, I'm hesitant to make a fried chicken joke, but they sell fried chicken. I don't know how much more inclusive we can get here.
A lot bad happened. And I'm shocked that Dave Rubin wasn't the worst part of that. So here's the backstory on that is Chick-fil-A is now in the crosshairs of outrage culture on the right because they had some kind of diversity, and inclusion, equity and inclusion initiative. And that's unacceptable that you would be tolerant at all on the right and try to have like a normal work environment where people aren't marginalized in any way. And so as they're doing more digging on the right wing, they find this clip of the CEO of Chick-fil-A trying to say things that I would incentivize religious culture to get people to do, which is like be nice and charitable. But because he bypasses the white guy and washes the black dude's shoes, whatever that guy's name is, the guy who used to be on the 5 who hosts the show, he now has to point out that like this weird all lives matter like ethos, I guess, which is itself so muddy. It's just so he's just like knows that that's a thing. When you do something nice for a black person, you have to say, I thought all lives matter to you. And then she doesn't know where she's from, like what side to take. And what she does know is there's a very easy fried chicken racist joke to make. And so she says it, and it's just the cringiest thing I've ever seen on this program, which in fairness, this is the only clip of this program I've ever seen on Newsmax.